Well, we had another great webinar today focusing not exclusively, but predominantly on vaccinations, the status of vaccinations being available and approved here in the United States and in New York, as well as in my area, what are some of the issues that we need to be mindful of on the labor and employment side of the law. And the question that we most often face from clients and friends of the firm is, hey, can we as the employer require employees to receive a vaccination for COVID-19? The short answer is yes, you can, based on guidance from the EEOC. But that's not the end of the story. There's a number of issues that should be taken into consideration and that can arise when deciding whether to implement a mandatory vaccination policy. These include how to handle situations when employees raise their hand who have a bona fide disability or a sincerely held religious belief that prevent them from receiving the vaccine, keeping in mind that employers have a general duty under the law to provide reasonable accommodations to employees. Now, there are limits on the types of reasonable accommodations that need to be provided under the law. And with respect to COVID, there's a number of issues that need to be taken into consideration. So I caution employers here, there isn't a one-size-fits-all approach to this issue and this accommodation issue. It really requires individualized analysis based on the employee's particular job duties, based on the workplace, and an assessment of the risks relating to COVID. So again, it's an issue you want to work through carefully with legal counsel, taking into consideration these important points. There's a whole host of other issues that can come up. Do we have an obligation to bargain with the union? For example, if we have a unionized workplace before we implement a mandatory vaccination policy, what if employees organize a protest to this policy or engage in other activity that may be protected under the National Labor Relations Act? Those are things that need to be considered as well. For more information, I encourage you to review today's presentation discussing these issues at length.